All right. So I'm going to drop a video on what's really like bugging me. It really is bugging me, man. On the surface, it should be nice. A story like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander should be nice. I mean, as a Knicks fan, my GM drafted Kevin Knox ahead of Shai, despite the fact that Shai and Kevin Knox were college teammates. How are you scouting Kentucky, and you looked at Kevin Knox in the draft that you could have gotten a Luka Doncic if you actually tanked. You just lost Kristaps Porzingis to a knee injury. He was out the next season. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander drafted, I believe, I forget who drafted him. He was traded to the Clippers, I believe. Maybe it was Charlotte who drafted him. But either way, the Knicks had a chance to take him and not trade him and develop him. And, should be a nice story. And now, the guy's MVP level, I'm not taking none of that away from him. He has a wonderful mid-range. He has, the requisite skill sets. But he is the microcosm. He is the epitome. He is basically the poster child of an NBA that is not. Let's put it this way: it's a joke. It's a joke, and you almost can't get mad at SGA for basically exploiting what is just ridiculous rule sets. I mean, we all know, we all played NBA Live and NBA 2K growing up. I'm dating myself. Nigga, I'm dating myself by I grew up on Bulls versus Lakers. Jordan versus Bird. Okay? But there's a setting on the game when you can slide over and increase the foul sensitivity. So, and that's what it is. The foul sensitivity in the NBA is on 100. Meaning anything that looks like a foul, looks like contact, whether it be marginal or not, whether it be incidental or not, gets called. And the worst part about it is, though, it only gets called for certain players. Again, guys will sell contact like it's WWE. And we all know how the WWE works. They have what is called a work punch, where the wrestlers are not actually punching each other. They're using a sort of an open fist. And, but you're hiding the fact that the fist is open, not necessarily your hand's not balled up. You're hiding that fact, right? And what happens there is, you're selling. It's only a person being punched to sell that the punches are actually hurting. Sometimes you'll see The Rock and his opponent exchanging punches, right? That's all right, boom, 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 boom. No one is really getting hit. They're getting touched, but they're not. It's not really a punch that lands impact. The best in the business can do it to the point where it looks real. Again, that's what stunt fighters do. This is what Bruce Lee did when he didn't actually kick these guys. He had to make it look like he kicked on camera. It was stuntmen. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the art of this. But this is what's going on in the WWE. I mean, I've been saying the NBA is like the WWE for the longest. this is what's going on. But the thing is with a guy like SGA, with guys like Harden and Luka and Austin Reeves, and you know, for now I'm gonna leave Brunson out of it. Because Brunson does, here's one thing, King Speech Road keeps it real. Brunson does foul bait. But Brunson is 6'1", and his body type actually has to sell real contact. Yes, he'll stop short, or he'll, you know, if you get your foot in his way, he'll fall to the side. SGA is a guy who does things like pushing off and still falling off. Like SGA will basically initiate contact, then fall the other way. I've seen him do it. I've seen him fall in an opposite direction to where physics doesn't even make sense that he fell that direction and still get the call. Because in the NBA now, any deviation in motion by the offensive player gets drawn as contact for certain guys. Again, it's for certain guys. It's for certain guys, because when I see a still shot of 3 guys grabbing Karl Anthony Towns and him not getting, look, this is not the salty Knicks fan, bro. I'm not the salty Knicks fan. I'm the stoic Knicks fan, brother. I'm the stoic Knicks fan. I don't, you know, I'm not going to sit there and cry about the refs. I think Mike Brown had a perfect quote. And I'm about to post that picture because I took I saved that picture. So I'm gonna put that picture in my post. It's a perfect quote. We just gotta leave the refs alone. But when Shea Gilgeous-Alexander could take 25 free throws, and the Detroit Pistons as a team take 23. The night after taking 16 free throws, when the New York Knicks take 17. Houston, we have a problem. And again, I'm not singling out SGA, but he is by far the worst. I mean, Luka's bad, but Shea is worse. See, the problem with the Lakers is they have 2 of those. They actually have 3 of those guys. LeBron don't get the calls the way he used to get it. But Reeves, between him, Reeves, and Luka, oh my God. Oh my God. I mean, come on. It's bad. It's bad. We have a New York, and that's where the league office is. They're actually where I'm at. I'm going on 40th Street down by the piers on the west side. Their offices is about 13, 14 blocks to my northeast. So behind me is basically it would basically be at 4 o'clock. No, I'm sorry, 8 o'clock for me. That's where the NBA office is. So New York, we have a problem. We have a problem. I can't, you don't understand. Last night, Pistons and OKC played, right? I had no interest in watching that game. None. I pay for this shit. I pay for League Pass. I pay for Peacock. I pay for ESPN Plus. I don't watch these games. I'm wasting my money. And the only reason I do it because I have a channel, so I can look at a game. So I can go and look at a game maybe. But there hasn't been any game in this regular season. And I'm waiting for the playoffs so I can turn League Pass off. I don't need it no more. I don't need League Pass for. I guess I have to keep ESPN. I'm just doing a little self-inventory right now, right? I would have to keep ESPN plus whatever, ESPN and Peacock and all that. I guess I have to keep that as well. But the League Pass, you're out of here, bro. I'm never getting a League Pass again. Maybe next year, maybe next season, I guess. If I get more into, but it's like the point is, right? And there's nothing worth watching. What am I going to see watching an NBA game is going to educate me on what happens? It's the same bullshit. Drive, kick, 3-3-3, flop. I'm not learning anything. not seeing anything. Not seeing anything I need to see. It's just a bunch of fucking flopping. Excuse my French. But I gotta call it for what it is. A bunch of goddamn flopping. And it gives the appearance of fixed games. Sorry, I can't do it. I can't do it. It's not worth the time. I'm sorry. Look. It's funny because I really want to be a guy who gives my audience my take on the current NBA, and I can do that. It's just I could do that because again, you ask me about any team who's their stars. I mean, any team that matters, like the Washington Wizards. Come on. But any team, any of the 20 teams that have already clinched, because it's funny how 10 teams with more than a dozen games, pretty much a dozen games, the whole goddamn play-in was clinched. Milwaukee is done. Milwaukee is out of the playoffs. All 20 teams, all 10 teams in each conference have clinched their spot in the play-in, or you got teams now clinching. You got teams clinching not top 6 seeds right now. All right, the Knicks their magic numbers of 1. Again with about 7-8 games to go, which goes to show you just the lack of competitiveness in the NBA. So I'm gonna wrap it up here. It's terrible. It really is terrible. It is a terrible situation going on with the league. They can call us old head haters all we want. Guess what? I talk to a lot of these clowns on TikTok. They can't tell you shit about teams. They don't watch these fucking games either. Only way they watch the games if they like a player or a team. And that's what it is. That's what this game has come down to. A bunch of guys who like certain players. Therefore they'll tune in the game to watch their favorite player. But as far as actually watching the game and teams, nobody gives a fuck. And the NBA knows that. That's why they promote this bullshit. That's why they'll give SGA. They'll make a star out of SGA to the point where I have to sit there and debate whether he's better, his peak is better than Kobe's. The man has been good like at this level for 3-4 years. Kobe was that level for about 15 years. God mode. All right, guys, I'm out, man.